Hello, I'm Ned Koppen with the Fairmont Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm sitting with Linsey Preuss from the city of Fairmont. Hi, Linsey.
Hi, Ned. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
You know, we never see each other anymore.
Hardly. We do work on a couple of things together.
We definitely partner a lot, so
We do.
It's good to have a relationship with you.
So let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Wells, and I went to school at Minnesota State Mankato, and I graduated with a bachelor's in finance. I started economic development in Faribault County, and now I've been here for almost 5 years, and I have a total of 11 years experience. I do have a family, my husband Travis, and 3 kids, Dylan, who is 11, Ayla's 10, and Carter is going to be 4 next week.
Economic development. You're the director of the economic development arm of the city of Fairmont.
I am, yes.
How do you fit into the government structure?
Okay, so I'm actually a city employee, but I'm overseen by the FEDA board, which is the Fairmont Economic Development Authority. And they kind of put together the strategies of what we're going to be doing in order to make Fairmont a better place. But my boss is the city administrator.
You know, I think that a lot of people think of economic development as bringing new businesses to town, and I'm sure that's part of it, but is that all of it?
I wish it was that easy, Ned. Actually, no, we do so many different things. Back when I first started 11 years ago, economic development was really, people looked at it as the 3-pronged stool, or the 3-legged stool, I should say. And each leg stood for something, and economic development was kind of the top. So each leg was business recruitment, which is trying to bring new businesses to town, business expansion, which is working with businesses that we already have, and then also entrepreneurship, which is trying to grow your own businesses. So those were the 3 that we really looked at. Now, because of the workforce shortage, workforce has become such an emphasis for us. So we're trying to make sure that not only do we have the jobs, but we need to make sure we have the people locally.
It sounds like a huge job.
So right now, the things that are really hindering workforce are childcare and housing. In Martin County, we're actually 81 slots to the deficit.
That's a lot.
That is a lot, and we found that because we had a study done by First Children's Finance. We did a partnership with them, and we really need to have professionals all come together and try to figure out this problem. So what we did was we enacted a core team, and it's made up of professionals like you and businesses and those with education and such. And what we're trying to do is just figure out how we can increase the quality childcare slots here locally.
And are you moving forward with that?
I think we are. We're on to now, we are implementing the strategies, and I really believe that we could have some successes within the next 6 to 12 months.
That's great.
It is, yeah.
How about housing? That seems to be an issue as well.
Housing is definitely an issue, and we're working on a number of different strategies to try to address that as well. And really, a number of them are done through the city. So one is we are working to apply for a deed grant through the Department of Employment and Economic Development for a small cities development program grant. And what that is it helps owner-occupied single-family housing. As long as you're income eligible, you could qualify for rehabilitation assistance. So that can help you fix up your home. You know, if you have roofing issues or siding, plumbing, electrical, things like that. So we're applying for a grant for that right now.
That sounds great.
Yeah, but that's just one aspect of it. So another one is multifamily housing. So our last apartment building in Fairmont was built in, can you guess when? I'm putting you on the spot.
1998?
1989.
Wow.
So it's quite old. So what we're trying to do is encourage development in multifamily housing. So I have actually brought forward to the county commissioners the city council, and the school board, and I've asked them to take a look at maybe doing a tax abatement for multifamily housing. At this point, they haven't decided on that, but I do think that it could at least move the needle on housing availability.
Sounds like a good positive step.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. And then also, we have Whitetail Ridge, so that's our new housing subdivision.
Where's that at?
It's actually on South Prairie. So if you keep going on South Prairie past the aquatic park and past the soccer fields,
Sure.
you'll run right into it.
Why did you start the Whitetail Ridge development?
Basically, it was because we had a lack of buildable lots here in Fairmont, and we really wanted to encourage those who live in Fairmont to build, to open up some of the housing that's available between the price range of like 80 to 150,000, which in Fairmont is considered the sweet spot. So we really thought that people that lived in that type of housing right now would build and move out to Whitetail Ridge.
And then other people would backfill those lesser priced houses.
Exactly. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about workforce? What kind of work do you do on workforce?
So we actually partner on Workforce, which has been kind of fun. But we're really looking at more of a brain gain opportunity. So we want to bring those back to the area that are between the ages of 30 and 49. And I guess what we're trying to do with that is trying to bring those back who have maybe went away to college and are looking at moving to a safer community or raise their family and bring their families with them. Also, we're working on CareerWise. And CareerWise is an effort that we're trying to educate students of what jobs are available in our area so that they can go to college and come back here to work. So it may be lining up a student with a company that has a program to help them go to nursing school. It may be lining them up with a manufacturer. So we're looking at kind of crossing those two together and encouraging people to live here.
I think we both found also that there's a lot of opportunity for kids coming directly out of high school or going to a 2-year program, not necessarily the traditional 4-year education. And there's terrific opportunities right away, isn't there?
There really are. So there are many companies in the city of Fairmont that will train you or will pay for you to go to school. So it really is a bonus for you to know before you go.
It's exciting.
Yeah. It is.
So tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now. What's happening right now?
There's so much going on right now. In fact, there's so much that I had to bring a list of everything so that I didn't miss something. One of the big projects that we're working on is CHS is proposing a $100 million reinvestment into the community.
That's a huge project.
That is probably the biggest project I'll ever work on in my career. It's
Exciting
that
stuff.
big. Yes. Yeah. I am getting emails from my colleagues all over the state, and they're saying, oh, we really wanted to work on a project like that, and we're so jealous that that's not happening in our community. So we are very fortunate.
What else is going on?
So what else is going on? We've got Taco Bell. Did you know about Taco Bell?
I'd heard rumors of that.
So Taco Bell is looking to build just south of Casey's, the old Casey's by the interstate. So they're looking to build there. Baumgars, have you heard about that one?
They're going in the old Shopko building.
That's right. And so that'll be a great use for them, I think. It's another building that's not vacant. So we're very excited about them opening up. Have you seen anything else around town?
Well, I have. I have noticed some construction at the intersection of Blue Earth Avenue and Highway 15.
At first it was a gas station, and then it was a Papa Murphy's, and now it's going to be an AT&T and the Shopko Optical. So we're very excited about that. They're adding onto the building, and I think that's going to be a great location for those two companies.
That's great.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to touch on?
Yes. Well, Great Plains Transportation, they're adding 12,000 square feet onto their building, and that's right on State Street.
And that's in progress right now.
That's in progress, and I think that's just going to be a value added for the whole community. They're adding on Class A office space, so it's going to be a beautiful addition, and I'm excited to see that one.
Linsey, can you tell us a little bit about the old aerospace building? It looks like there's a lot of work going on there.
Yes, actually, there has been a number of businesses that have already moved in there. There is Fairmont CrossFit, who's moved in there, and then Remax is in there, and then there's a couple other office spaces. So that's going to be a great asset. It was a vacant building before that. So
That's terrific.
that's awesome. But there are also a few other things. So there's Hawkins Chevrolet is adding on to their body shop. Lakeview Methodist Nursing Home.
They've got a big project.
They've got a huge project, and they're looking at building either this fall or beginning next spring. And then we have private things or things for the community, like a venture playground that's going to be starting. So
I've heard a lot about that too.
yeah, so there's some really great things happening in our community right now, and I'm just so thankful to be a part of them. In fact, it's more
fun.
activity that I've ever worked on before. Our pipeline is longer than I've ever had it. It's amazing.
Tell us a little bit about the new industrial park that I've heard about.
Oh, yes. When you're thinking about the corner of I-90 and County Road 39, the corner of that, we're actually looking at developing the 40 acres there. So we have the option on the property, and I actually wrote a grant to try to pay for half of the infrastructure to get out there. So once we get that, we can move forward and market that property as ready to go, which is such an asset to the community.
That would be great for Fairmont and Martin County.
Absolutely, because it's kind of interesting, but a lot of these manufacturers and distributors, they want highway visibility, and it's something that you wouldn't think would be necessary, but we have it, so let's give it to them. So that's kind of why we're looking at that site right there. So hopefully by sometime next year, we'll be talking about a new business going in there.
It sounds like another segment of the show.
It does, doesn't it? There are just so many great things happening in our community right now.
That's fantastic, and I think that you do really good work, and you work really hard, and it's been fun talking to you about it.
Thanks. I love all the partnerships that we can do for the community. I think that is a major asset, and I'm happy to be working with you too, Ned.
Me as well.
Yeah.
For the people who are watching the show, can you tell them a little bit to find out more about what you're doing on an ongoing basis? Website, social media?
Yeah, so we do have web presence. It's FEDA, FEDAMN.com. And there you can find resources like if you're interested in a business, we have loan funds available and other incentives. And then we also have a Facebook page and we share with the city. So it's the City of Fairmont MN Facebook page.
That's great. And I also know that if you have questions for Linsey or you need to get a hold of her, she's very approachable, and you can always call her at the city offices at any time.
Yeah, I would love to hear from you. You know, it's always better to bring a project forward beforehand and let me know, and I can try to think of some things that might work for you beforehand instead of finding out afterwards and then realizing that you can't get those dollars afterwards.
Thanks, Linsey. It's been great.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you and talk to you, and thank you, and we'll see you next time.